Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Let's go ahead and wrap up parts 5 through 10, SHAKUR Stevenson and TEOFIMO Lopez. Now, I had to take a day off yesterday. I'll probably do a couple of videos and then be done for the night because I'm not feeling well. But we got to keep the party going because I got to close out this series. Now, SHAKUR Stevenson and TEOFIMO Lopez, I think it boils down to a lot of things, but what we saw yesterday and we're seeing today is a lot of the mental warfare between Teo getting under SHAKUR's skin, SHAKUR and his team kind of, reciprocating the chippiness, and also at TEOFIMO Senior returning after, whatever he was going through. People are speculating a lot of different things, but one thing we know is that he was vomiting. I hope that the old man is okay. Because no matter what you think about people, you shouldn't want to see anybody suffer. You know what I'm saying? But the fight it's as psychological as it is physical. And we're seeing that. TEOFIMO Lopez, you can just see he feeds off emotion. He loves the drama. He loves the nonsense. When he feels challenged or disrespected, he'll become more aggressive, more reckless, and sometimes more dangerous. He wants drama. SHAKUR does not. TEOFIMO wants tension. He wants the fight to feel personal. SHAKUR just wants to win. Now, for SHAKUR Stevenson, he feeds off the calm, man. Kind of like how he fights. Kind of control his emotion, control the pace, and becomes more focused. If, in fact, chaos starts surrounding him, he doesn't get caught up in it. And he thrives when the crowd boos, when the opponents get angry, and things feel tense. SHAKUR's calmness becomes a weapon because emotional fighters make predictable mistakes. And after listening to TEOFIMO Lopez talk about he took the fight because he has a lot of debt, I mean, he could just be saying that. But, I mean, hey, a $9 million payday, it's kind of hard to turn that down, you know what I'm saying? Win, lose, draw, as far as how the fight goes. When you get a $9 million payday, I consider that a win. But nevertheless, trash talk matters because it sets emotional traps. Momentum swings matter because they create doubt or confidence. Crowd reaction matters because it influences perception, especially judges. And that's what's going to make this fight interesting to see what the judges are looking for, how they react, and how they score the fight, if in fact it goes to a decision. Matter of fact, even if there's a knockout, it'll be interesting to see how they were scoring the fight up until the knockout. I will say if TEOFIMO lands something big, I think the crowd will erupt. If SHAKUR lands something clean, I think the crowd's just going to be quiet. And that difference affects psychology. So this is a battle of identities. TEOFIMO wants to impose himself emotionally. SHAKUR wants to erase emotion entirely. That's going to be hard to do because TEOFIMO is going to probably do and say whatever he has to get SHAKUR rattled. And I could see that happening in the fight. So the fighter who wins the mental war will not only fight better, he will think clearer under pressure. And that's what SHAKUR Stevenson, he has to do. Now, as far as part 6, past fights and lessons, look, man, TEOFIMO's career teaches 2 lessons because he receives credit for his career, but at the same time, he doesn't. Now, against Lomachenko, discipline worked. He stuck to a plan, stayed composed, and controlled range. Against Kambosos, chaos lost. He got emotional, rushed exchanges, and paid for it. Those 2 fights represent 2 versions of TEOFIMO, strategic TEOFIMO and reckless TEOFIMO, and I do want to point out, I do believe the reason he looked so good against Lomachenko and Richard Comey is because he had Joey Gamache in his corner as a co-trainer. When he fought Kambosos, he did not have Joey Gamache, and we saw what happened in that fight. Now, with SHAKUR Stevenson, his career shows consistency. He fights the same way every time. He does not deviate based on opponent or environment. That consistency makes him dangerous because it means he is rarely surprised. This fight becomes a test of whether Teofimo learned from his past or repeats it. History doesn't repeat itself. Fighters do. If Teofimo stays disciplined, he can compete. If he chases moments, SHAKUR will outscore him. Part 7. I think this is going to make the difference in the fight. The first thing is conditioning, but the jab and the counter punches. I really think the jab and the counter punches are going to be the difference in the fight after conditioning. We all know the most important punch in boxing is the jab. Like, that's no secret. SHAKUR's jab sets the story, and it's not about power. It's about positioning. He uses it to blind opponents, to set traps, draw reactions. Once the reaction happens, the counter follows. Teofimo's counters are destructive. Sorry about that. I was sneezing. Didn't want to sneeze all in the video, man. But when it comes to Teofimo Lopez, he can be very, very destructive with his counters and power. When he times an opponent, he doesn't tap them. He tries to remove them. His counter right hand and left hook of momentum changes. The thing is, can he land that on Shakur Stevenson? Now, whoever wins the jab battle wins the rhythm. Rhythm controls range, range controls safety, and SHAKUR is all about range and safety. He's not necessarily a guy who wants to be in the pocket, shoulder rolling, slipping, catching, shooting. He can, but he's all about staying out at a distance, controlling the range. So this fight could be decided by something as simple as who establishes their jab first. Let me blow my nose. And it really could, man. But Teofimo's not necessarily a jabber, you know what I'm saying? Shakur Stevenson is the jabber. It's not really Teofimo. I wonder what happens if Teofimo comes out here and tries to somehow out-jab, out-box Shakur Stevenson. You know, what happens? Because the first punch, it matters. The jab decides the rhythm. The counter decides the damage. And again, I'm going to say the most important punch in boxing is that jab, and I think that jab is going to make all the difference. Now, part 8, body work, and fatigue. Teofimo attacks the body violently. He wants to break posture and take away legs. SHAKUR drains opponents mentally. He exhausts them by making them miss and think too much. Physical fatigue favors Teofimo early. Mental fatigue favors SHAKUR late. As the fight goes on, frustration becomes exhaustion. Fighters stop cutting the ring. They stop throwing combinations. That's when SHAKUR, like no kidding, that's when he thrives. So who breaks first? The lungs or the will? That's what the body work decides. And I think the guy who wins this fight is going to have that special conditioning. But at the same time, if somebody's able to come out there and land hard body shots and hurt the other person to the body and consistently land, I think they can slow him down. So it really is about who breaks first. Who breaks first, man? Is it the body or the mind that's going to give up? And just trying to analyze the fatigue, the punishment, late round control is interesting, because I really think it's going to boil down to a lot of those things that we just talked about. Now, part 9, scoring and judges. Listen, these judges, you just don't know if you're going to get Larry, Moe, and Curly, the damn 3 stooges, you know what I'm saying? 3 blind mice, you just don't know what you're going to get. But we do know when judges get it right, they reward clean punches and ring control. But they're also human. Aggression looks powerful. Defense looks subtle. Shakur's work is harder to see. TEOFIMO is louder. It's like seeing somebody dress nice. You see somebody in a tuxedo, nice shoes, little watch. That's nice. And you see somebody out here with a big old hoodie, jeans, boots, hat. That's loud nice. Shakur is the guy with the tuxedo. TEOFIMO is the guy with the jeans, the hoodie, the hat, the boots. So you got loud nice and quiet nice. But this becomes a question of perception. Who looks like the boss? Who looks like they're winning? So style bias can swing close rounds. And to be honest with you, I just hope the judges don't mess this up. But I'm going to be paying attention to the clean shots versus the pressure, and why optics matters when it comes to this fight. Because, boy, these judges they can't afford to get anything wrong. That's why I hope somebody gets knocked out. I don't even want to deal with the judges' scorecards. Just somebody, please, try to go for the knockout. Even if you risk getting knocked out yourself, just go all out, man. Now, part 10, legacy and what's next. The winner becomes the face of the lightweight era. The loser goes back into uncertainty. The fight defines careers. It decides marketability, future matchups, and legacy. So this is not just a fight. I do think it's a fork in the road, but for Shakur Stevenson, 140 junior welterweight. Yeah, 140. So for Shakur Stevenson, he can always go back down to 135. But if he clips Teo, then he will probably chase a big money fight. At least that's what he said. At the end of the day, one person is going to become king. One's going to re-enter into the chaos. And to be honest with you, I don't know what that means for the future of boxing. But I tell you what, for their careers and the future of their careers, it means somebody's going to go on to bigger and better paydays, and the other guy's going to have to reset and figure out, what to do next. Anyway, man, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. The fight's here, man. I can't wait to see it in the breeze.